Anybody who's ever heard Jeff and I do a webinar about our new IUL now, the rapid issue IUL, knows that this is pretty much my favorite thing to ever come from Columbus Life, which is saying a lot because, you know, my mom retired from here. I work here. My son works here. Love this company, but this is still my most favorite thing ever. So our IUL now is our rapid issue product. That means that your client is not going to have to go through an exam, go through lab work. So in this example, I'm going to use a 35-year-old client. So we're going to go and key her in here. And I think this is a really good, I mean, honestly, it's issue ages from 18 to 60. But I do sort of feel like, you know, 35 is such a perfect age. You know, you're trying to start, you know, you're kind of thinking like, okay, I need to start preparing for, you know, like Jeff said, that time when I stop work. Oh, now I'm doing it, Jeff. You're rubbing off on me. And I know I need this. However, you know, I don't want to go through an exam and lab work. I have kids. I'm busy. You know, they're probably in the pinnacle of their career. They're doing all this. This is such an easy thing. Our quote time for our IUL now is 3 to 5 days. We get it out the door and in your hands. So right before I illustrate this, I just want to remind everybody, it is built on our IUL 2019 chassis. So you get the same allocations, same riders. The only one not available is the other insured term rider. Every other rider is available. Children's term rider, etc. Living benefits, you're going to get all of that. So let's look at this real quick. So what's one of the differences? Rating. Our IUL now is not going to be a fit for somebody who is going to be preferred, super preferred, wants more than $1 million, because we've got 4 simple ratings. We've got non-tobacco, tobacco, non-tobacco plus, and tobacco plus. We keep it simple because we want this out the door and done. So for our 35-year-old female, I'm just going to pick non-tobacco. I'm going to go ahead and solve for income because we want to see that income. Let's do that same thing. Max cash flow. It's not going to be any different. Keep it level death benefit, same allocations. Well, let's say she's going to put in $300 a month. Same thing we always do. We're going to do it to 65 just for this client. Market PAT. So again, you notice it's the exact same setup that Jeff and I have showed you with our traditional IUL. And I'm just going to look at values. MAC, guideline, target. And let's just kind of see how this looks for our client. Okay, so we've got about 22,000 coming out. We're going to run evenly. So we're pretty happy with that. But again, because she's 35, we're still not quite at that probably the finalized age of working or, you know, level. I mean, I hope not. I'm sure she's going to get more bonuses and pay increases, you know, maybe move to a better job. So same thing. Let's just do this kind of conservatively. We'll pay $300 a month. Say she's newer to insurance. Let's do it for 10 years. And let's just even bump it 100. You know, pretty digestible. You know, Sally Smith, do you think in 10 years you can start contributing even an extra $100? Heck yeah, I do. So let's see what kind of difference that's going to make for her. I mean, and let's be honest, these days, this isn't even a car payment anymore. I don't know if y'all have shopped for a new car, but I've been recently looking and almost had a stroke from it. So it bumps up our income again. So we've got almost about 26,000. And that's only just bumping it after 10 years, $100. So not only did our client get the same IUL benefits, but there's no underwriting. I mean, she goes through it, it's done, it's turned around, it's in force. all just from doing her application. No medicals, just answering questions. And then we've got that same retirement plan that we do for everybody else on the traditional IUL. Jeff, did you want me to do another one for the IUL now?
All right, that's up to Art and Colby. Are you guys at a place you want us to take a break and stop and take questions, or?
Is there any questions? I think let's catch them. Well, any thoughts or questions from the agents?
Jennifer, I've got one for you. If I go through IUL now and my client doesn't qualify, what do I do?
So first, what we'll do is if the client, we do run a score. If we get immediate notice that the client doesn't qualify in the beginning for just like that rapid issue where it's out the door within 3 to 5 days, we will just ask for an exam and lab work to be completed. They're not kicked out of the product. We are just going to require an exam and lab work. If for some reason we get that completed, and if the client is lower, I think it starts at a table E as in Edward, then we would bump them to the traditional 2019 IUL. Whereas I do believe some companies who offer a rapid issue product, they are just either in or out, they're done. They can't qualify. If they don't qualify for this, they don't qualify for anything. We will place them just into that traditional.
Need a new app?
We do not. No new application.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I heard a stat the other day that right now about 68% of the cases are going through are getting an offer within a day and fitting the program.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is there are some cases we're getting in that 68 that were declined in other programs where somebody says, well, I got a decline over here, so I'll see what Columbus will do. I get that logic up to a point, but if you take those out, our numbers went up to 72, 73%. So a pretty good pass-through rate, I think. I think from industry numbers, I think it's really good. The other thing that I like about it, and I've shared this with you guys before, when we did the beta test last year and we did 1,000 cases, the really cool part is of the 1,000 cases we got, either the first program caught it or the regular underwriting caught it, we were able to make offers on about 89%, almost 90% of the cases that came through got an offer. So the feedback we're getting, and I know some of you have been using the product, and from what I've seen, feedback has been great. So this is just round one. They're already thinking and tweaking about, improvements. So stay tuned.